Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Knotty by Selassie. It's your girl Selassie, and today on the channel we're going to be working on making these super cute, super comfy high-waist shorts with fur accents, okay? So we're gonna pick a really cute color and work our magic because girl, you know you gotta slay. These are them, high-waisted. And these are just accents here. They're not pockets, but definitely stay tuned. And at the end, I'll show you guys how to add the pockets to these so that it still has the accents and the pockets. And it does have a tie already. So what we're going to need is stitch markers, and for the stitch markers you can get these from Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but if you don't have stitch markers you can just use a bobby pin or a paper clip, scissors, our darning needle, measuring tape, and our hook. And today we're working with a 5.5 millimeter, and we're working with two different types of yarn today. We're working with Karen 1 pound in the color peach. This was what won the survey with the poll, so this is the color that we're working with. And then the other texture for the accents is Lion Brand Yarns, and it's fun fur. Just using a white color. Alright, so to start off, I just made a quick diagram, and I'll go ahead and zoom in. Alrighty, so I just have a quick diagram, and don't mind my drawing, guys. I really don't know how to draw like that. So I started off by measuring the highest point of my waist, which is 31 inches, and then the highest point of my hips, which is 41. So it's a 10-inch difference. And let's go ahead and get started. Just trying to get the working yarn. Always have to go like through the middle. I think I got it. Okay. Then you just have to go through this. Alright, so we're going to be working with about 3 different stitches, single crochet, ribbing, slip stitch, and double crochet. And to start off, I'm going to go ahead and make your slip knot, insert your hook, alrighty, and then we're going to start off with a chain of 8. I'm going to start with the band for the waist. And let me just get better lighting here for you guys. Alright. So for the ribbing, we're going to go ahead and start off like we would a regular single crochet. I'm going to chain the 8 and just go into the back ribs only. So it's 8 rows, sorry, 8 single crochet stitches and I'm going to be making a size small to medium. So we are going to actually be having a total of 70 rows for the ribbing. I want to chain 1, turn your work, and then now until the rest of the 70 rows, we're only going to be working into the back loop only. So instead of going through both, just going to go into the back loop only. Okay, just the back loop. Make sure you don't forget about this last stitch here as well, right here. You can always use a stitch marker to mark that space just so you don't forget. So chain 1, turn your work, and going back the other way. Okay, and then this is what it's going to start looking like. This ribbed sort of look here. Okay, so go ahead and let's continue this until our 70 rows, and I will meet you back here. Alright guys, so now I am on my last row of 70. Now go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Alright, sorry guys. Okay. So now you should have 70 for the band. You can go ahead and count these the way you would count them. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or if you're on the other side, it would be 2, 4, 6, 8, and then so on. So you have 70. And at this point, you can go ahead and put it around you to make sure that it's going to fit properly. If not, if you need to add or reduce stitches, you can go ahead and do that at this time. Alright, and then now we're going to close up our stitching. So the way I close it up is I go into the opposite end, so still working in the back loop. This one's a bit harder to get through since it is the first stitch. Then we're going to slip stitch. So that means you're not going to single crochet, you're just going to pull it between both. That's a slip stitch. You're going to continue on. So working in the back loops, connecting the back loops only. So I'll zoom in on this part for you. Okay. So now it is closed up, and when you open it, it's going to look as though it's another sort of ribbing. Okay, so this is the band, and you can try it on at this point too, just so you can make sure that you don't have to undo anything once you get further along. You're going to chain one, and that does not count as a stitch. Now what we're going to do is go along each ribbing here. I'm going to put a single crochet in each stitch, or whatever appears to be a stitch. Ready? And then at this point you can go ahead and put in your stitch marker. That way you know where to end up. This part you're just going to have to find stitches. Try to go into each space so it all looks collectively together. Alright guys, so go ahead and continue this all the way till the end, and I will meet you back here. Alright guys, so now we are at the end, and you should have roughly between 100 to 104 stitches. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to where we put our stitch marker. Okay, I'm going to chain one, and from here on out the chain one does not count as a stitch. And we're going to go straight into double crochets. I'm going to be working double crochets throughout. If you want, you can continue to use the stitch marker, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it out. And I'm going to weave this through by just crocheting over it. Just have the same number of double crochets as you do for the single crochet that you just did all around for the ribbing. So go ahead and continue all the way around till we get back here, and I'll show you how we're going to be ending it off from now on. Also, just a heads up, we're going to be working in one continuous round, so we're not going to be chaining our work and turning for this project. So just continuously, and then when we get back here, I'll show you guys how to connect and keep going. Alright guys, so we are at the end here. And from now on, what we're going to do, we are actually going to go into this stitch here, which was our first stitch, just to close up that gap. And then this is our first double crochet, but from now on, we are not going to go into this one. We're actually going to skip that and go into the next stitch. That way it closes up the gap here. So that's what we're going to do from now on. So chain 1 and double crochet. And remember, we're going to go into continuous rounds. So now that we've got this one, this is round 2. Go ahead and continue this until you get to your 9th round. And I will meet you back here. Alright guys, so now coming up on the end, I just wanted to come back and show you guys again that you want to go into that same first stitch and then skip the first double crochet and go into that next stitch. It's still the same count of stitches total because of the fact that we put in that double crochet in that same stitch again before we skipped it. So go ahead and again continue double crocheting in the round till you get to the 9th row, and that's where we are going to have our first increase. Alright, see you guys then. Alright guys, so now we are at the point of increasing, and this is why you're going through and making continuous rounds and then going into skipping a stitch and closing off in the next one, so it sort of gives this diagonal loop here and it just looks seamless. And actually we're gonna go until the 10th row. That's when we're going to be doing our increases, is row 10, and this is what we're looking like so far. Okay, so now we're going to increase, and for the increasing we are actually going to increase 1 in every 13th stitch. So we just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Alright, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then in the 13th stitch you're going to put 2 double crochets into that stitch. So again, you got the 1 in the 13th stitch, go back into that same stitch for the increase, and now you're going to start your count off again. 2, 3, 10, So this was our first increase, and then now another 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Put 2 in the 13th stitch and continue again. Whoops. So go ahead and continue this all the way till the end, increase every 13th stitch. And I'll meet you back here. Alright guys, so now we are on our last increase. Alright, so that was a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, total of 8 increases. Now for row 11, I'm going to go ahead and just continue normally, just a double crochet in each stitch, no increases. We're only increasing twice in this whole project, so we're increasing row 10 and row 12, but the 11th row is just normal double crochets in each stitch. So go ahead and do that. Oops. And I will meet you back here for row 13, I'm sorry, for row 12 for those increases. Alright, so now we are at the end of row 11. Then for row 12, we're going to increase every 12th stitch, not every 13. Alright, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Increase twice. I'm sorry, once in every 12th stitch. Right, so we're going to continue that same pattern here with the increase in every 12th stitch all the way till the end. And then row 13 to 16 is just going to be regular double crochets in each stitch. So we're only, this is our last increase row right here. So again, increase every 12th stitch by 1, and I will meet you here after your 16 rows. Alright, so I'm at the end of my 12th row, just did my last increase. And now for the 13th row until row 16, we are just going to double crochet 1 in each stitch. And then for this 12th row, you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 increases. Alright, so now from 13 from row 13 to row 16, you're just going to, again, double crochet 1 in each stitch. And I'm going to expand this here so you guys can see where we're at so far. We are almost halfway there. Yes, it's gonna look super cute, super chic, super comfortable. So I will meet you guys here on the 16th row so I can show you guys how to separate the legs for the shorts, and then show you guys how to make the shorts and add those accents. So see you back here. Now lastly, go ahead and finish the 16th row here. I already started on the 16th row. Now when we come back around, I'll show you guys how to connect for the shorts and then what to do next. Okay, so now we are at the end of row 16. Okay. Now we're going to chain 1. Let me zoom in for you guys on this part. Chain 1, go into that same stitch. I'm going to chain just 2. Sorry, we're just going to double crochet 2 and then pull up a loop. And now this is where we're going to figure out where we want to separate our shorts. So all I do for this part, just close it up.
I'm getting him back his peaches. I'm getting him back his plans. I'm getting him back his 50 cents and kick them down the stairs.
Alright guys, so right there it's gonna be these 2 stitches. Then you can just use your stitch markers. So I just folded it, oops, in half, and then you see those 2 stitches right there. Stitch marker. I mean, it doesn't have to be like an exact science, but you know, close enough.
That's what I was gonna say. Okay, last time I messed up, so this time it's all you. If you wanna go, we'll go. If you wanna talk to them, we'll talk to them. If we get a name for that cop, I'll leave it tip, but it's all you.
All right. So now that we've got that part, yep. What we're gonna do is gonna be 6 rows of these 2. So chain 1, then turn, then double crochet back into that stitch and the next one. Chain 1. Turn, double crochet, chain 1, turn, crochet, alright, so
hey bro, I told you we were being followed. Look at this shit. Alright, bro. What, you want a Scooby snack or some shit, man? Bro, I'm just saying, bro, just trying to act like I'm not paying attention and shit.
alright, so now you just want to do it till you have 6. So 2, 4, 6. And we're just going to connect it to this other side. And and just connect it with a slip stitch.
It's something you ain't telling me.
For this part, actually, my bad. Alright, so you finished up here. We're gonna go back into the stitch and then connect it. Alright, so let's do that again. So we just finished. There's no chain one. I'm gonna turn, go into that same double crochet and go into that first stitch marker and then slip stitch all together. Okay, and same thing on the other one. Go through and connect it and then single slip stitch. Alright, here it is. Alrighty, so this is the beginning here. What you want to do, you just want to... Alright, here we go. Chain one. Then we're gonna go ahead and double crochet all the way around. And you're still going to go in a continuous round. You're not going to chain one and turn. Just continuously go through. Sorry, there's baby in the background. Alright. And then do it all the way till we get here. And I'll meet you back so I can show you how to go in between these loops. Alright guys, so now that we're here, we're going to go through these double crochets. And we will have to actually double crochet 2 until 1. Oh, oops. You want to go into the stitch here too. Alright. Just go through every single section that you see. So for this portion, once we single crochet 1, then we're gonna go here. Actually, single crochet, double crochet. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, tongue twisted. I'm gonna double crochet in this stitch, so that's 2 and 1, and then go into this one and 2. Right. 2. 2. So it's like this, and you have this little space right there, so I just put 1 and then put the other one on this side. Alrighty, and then now you're just going to go ahead and slip stitch, chain 1, and then continue. You're going to do that for a total of 6 rows on this one side. All right, so we got 1 right here. We're on the second one. Keep going till you get to 6, and then I'll show you guys how to reattach on this side and go through again. And actually, oh my bad, once we do the 6 here, then I'll show you, excuse me, once we do the 6 here, then I'm going to show you how to add the accent to the end there before we reattach on this side and continue on. So keep going till 6. Alright guys, so now we are at the end.
Nah, he just moving. He just moving. Yeah, he chilling. Celassie's crocheting. Celassie's crocheting. It's daddy time.
Alright. You can probably hear my man and baby in the background. So you want to go all the way to the end.
Smile. Smile.
And again, it's the same procedure, really, like we were doing with the shorts. Okay. And that's it for the peach color on this side. Alright, I'm gonna zoom out. Okay. One is done. Now we're gonna go ahead, add our fur. It will shed just a little bit, but it'll be okay. And you want to reconnect. Okay. Alright, so you reconnect it. I'll show you guys how to do that again because we're gonna weave in the ends. Put it through where you just left off. Connect it. Chain 1. You go back into that same stitch with the double crochet. You just weave in the ends. Just double crochet over that. And you're just gonna put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around.
Smile. Smile like you want to just smile.
Alright, so go ahead and do this all the way around. Then we're gonna cut it after we finish this side and then reconnect over here and do the same thing. And then I'll show you guys the accents on the sides and then also how to add the pockets. Alright, be back.
It's almost a public record. So you coping? I did it myself. It was easy. I mean, the computer did most of the work. Come on. Good go. 21 dogwood. Or you look down at Alejandro's house and someone else.
Party. Alejandro's out there in the road, but you doesn't think about what he does to us.
And that's what I mean. It's not me. It's the world that's lost its mind.
fuck with my people.